Welcome back. This is Schofield. Today I'm gonna be walking you through the losses I've taken just to show you um what happens sometimes, right? What we rarely talk about. All right, so you see, if you believe profitable traders don't take losses, this video would probably just rewire you or change your mind. All right, so that is just one thing I want you to understand as regard what this upload is all about. Uh, popularly, losses are said to be normal in trading. That is, we traders often say losses are inevitable, but personally, I believe that in as much as they are inevitable, one thing is you need to understand the fact that losses are meant to make you uncomfortable. All right. You know, it's way better that you do not subscribe to the fact that losses are normal. Losses are inevitable. Yes, losses are inevitable. All right, but then you shouldn't, the fact that they're inevitable, that doesn't mean you should, feel comfortable with the fact that you're taking losses, especially if, over time those losses turn into a streak, that is losing streak. Uh, So yeah, they are meant to make you uncomfortable because at the end of the day, discomfort is like the fire that leads towards growth. Um, so in this video, basically, I just want to show you in this upload, I want to show you that in the foreign exchange market, there is no strategy that is 100% efficient. Not even my strategy. All right, there is no system, there is no strategy that is 100% efficient. Like I aforementioned, the fact that losses are inevitable does not mean you should be comfortable with every loss. All right, that doesn't mean you should be comfortable with every loss. I mean, I kind of believe in something. All right, as long as your system is truly efficient. All right, as long as your system is data backed. Uh, After every loss, all right, after every loss, I believe that 80% of the time you should be able to see and understand why you incurred the loss after every losing trade, after each losing setup. All right, as long as your system is efficient. Although, some traders tend to believe that there are times your losses doesn't have anything to teach. Yes, that is why I'm saying that 80% of the time you should your system should you should be able to see why you incurred a loss based on your trading system. That is, it only makes sense for you to revisit the chart after every loss, go over the charts, try to see what you did wrong. Not what Sometimes it might not be about what you did wrong, but then it might just be about an information you didn't see. We traders, we are like you need to see yourself as a medical doctor. All right. The same way a medical doctor has to pay attention to every detail on the chart. I mean, in a patient, or I mean, happening around this field, that is also the same way as a trader. As traders, we need to pay attention to everything happening on the chart, because a single mistake would cost you money. All right, and this is a money game. So which means we need to, as much as we can, we need to pay attention to every detail. And then after every loss, it only makes sense. Like I said earlier, it only makes sense for you to go to the charts, for you to study, for you to pay attention to probably what you probably didn't pay attention to, or the information you probably missed. All right, so I'll be starting off with this guy right here, and that is GBPUSD. GBPUSD, I took a loss around this guy here. I took a loss around this guy on this particular date. So this was a Thursday. You know, uh, so the one thing is I tend to pay extra attention when it comes to Thursdays, because uh, Thursdays are days I do not joke with. Thursdays are days I don't because Thursdays tend to expand. All right, Thursdays tend to expand for me. So this was this day on GBP USD. So why did I take? So let me just, how do I do this now? Okay, so let me, all right, so from this day, from that sale, why did I take that sale? All right, I took the sale based on, let me see weekly, if weekly is actually in alignment with what I'm about to talk about right now. So on the weekly time frame, all right, so on the weekly time frame, yes, I can see we have this guy that rejected of this weekly key level right here. All right, this weekly rejected of this weekly key level. And then we have daily time frame. Daily time frame presented, daily time frame presented for us this break of structure to the downside. This break of structure to the downside. So from there, I kind of, I felt it makes sense for me to pay attention to selling opportunities. All right, so now what did I see from here again? Price has taken out the previous day. Price has taken out this previous daily high right here. All right, and then we had this A-shaped level which price rejected from this guy. So which means we have a daily candle that's rejected off a daily key level that also has the internal liquidity below it. As you can also see, it also swept liquidity. So definitely it means it makes sense for us to pay attention, for me to pay attention to this sell. Right. So going into my so now I have a daily rejection. So going into my 4 time frame right now, I can spot this guy right there. So I spotted this. So going into the H4 time frame, know this. I need to take this forward. All right. So going into the daily time frame now, coming into the H4 time frame rather. So I found this guy. I found this daily rejection. I have my confirmation that is H4 that broke towards the direction of that daily rejection. So from here now, it makes sense for me to now, pay attention to this guy. Why do I even have to pay attention to this guy? I had this H4 that rejected off this guy, and then I also have this H4 high that was taken out with the low still standing. All right, the low was still standing, and then I can see it's created for me an A-shaped key level. All right, it's created for me this A-shaped key level right here. So yeah, so it makes sense for me to actually pay attention to selling from this guy. So let us see. So I'm gonna play right now, or let me just add my position too. So let me add this to with my stop loss above this one, and then I think target was this external right there. I think I had about 4 hours on this day. I mean 5 hours, or thereabouts. All right, so let me play right now. Let's see what happens. Okay, good. So now this guy, so it became a loss right here. All right, but then one thing that actually happened again was the fact that aside, apart from apart from the fact that we had this H4 that rejected of this guy, we also have another H4 that broke structure to the downside again. So that was more like that was more like a second confirmation that is, we have this. So, this is a sweep of liquidity now and a break of structure. So yes, to me right now, this looked like a break of structure. All right. And at the end of the day, price took me out. And then, so after this loss, I kind of realized what I didn't pay attention to. Sometimes losses are just like eye drop. All right. After that loss, your eyes would, become clearer. So let's pay attention to what I didn't pay attention to. Let me show you what I didn't pay attention to from the daily time frame now. Right, so from this daily time frame, so one thing that happened right here was the fact that, so let me just start from this place. So price started rejecting from this area. Price started rejecting from this V level. We've treated key levels now, so you should be able to relate with what I just said. We had several daily rejections from this guy. Also, daily time frame also did something interesting. Daily time frame took out this previous daily low right here, while the high was still standing. All right, while this guy was still standing. So let us go into the H4 time frame now to pay attention to what price presented around there. So now we have a daily low sweep, when we treated liquidity, I mean, that is single candle liquidity. I said, whenever price takes out your daily low and gives you a confirmation you need to see on the needed time frame, it means price would, expand to take out the opposing side, which is the previous daily high. So let us see what we have on the H4 time frame now. So do not forget we have previous daily low that has been taken out, and then so yeah, let's pay attention. So from here, you would realize that we had this H4 break of structure to the upside. So this is that daily low that was taken out, all right? So this is our H4 break to the upside, which I didn't pay attention to, all right? I saw it, but I didn't, I just felt like, oh, price should sell. So I felt like on this day, I married the fact that I needed to sell. All right. So, and at the end of the day, that is none of Price's business. All right, so Price will do what it needs to do. So it is left to you to know for you to, for you to know what you want to do. All right, so right here we have this H4 break to the upside. All right, so now we have a previous daily low that has been taken out, and then we have this H4 break to the upside. So right here, what can we pay attention to? Price came back into this level, into this extreme level, because at the end of the day now we can even tell. So your price came back into this one right here severally, because this becomes your validation level now. All right, this becomes your, and price didn't take it out at all. So right now this, and I feel like this should have a very reasonable stop loss this thing. So let's see how many pips stop loss. About 10. All right, about 10 pips stop loss. And if you are to target this guy, this should give you about over 4 risk to reward. Right, so this is the first one. So my entry should just, if I'd paid attention, right, I would have just after this H4 break or structure to the upside, right, I would have just positioned myself to be here. All right, position myself to be here, and my first target, of course, would be the previous high, which is this one. Right, and yes, of course, we and this is about 6 hour, right? So yeah, so this is the first one. So another one I'll be sharing is this. I think I also have one around. So I also have another loss around. Let me see. Okay, that should be around. Yes, so I think I just saw it. So I had the loss around this guy. This one. I had a loss from this area. All right, so let's see what happened, what transpired between me and Price on this day. No, 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 let me take it forward a bit. Okay, so yeah, so here we go. So I feel like this was Monday. Yes, this was Monday. So what happened from here was, let's check the higher time frame. All right, so right here on the daily time frame, I I believe that we tapped into this imbalance, and then we tapped into this imbalance right here, and then we also took out the previous daily low. All right, we also took out the previous daily low. One thing about this buy is that the buy I try to get in on is the fact that I know it is a kind of should I say retracement based on the environment that we are. All right, because if you should check the weekly and the monthly time frame, we have taken out external liquidity. All right, so it makes sense to for price to sell to an extent. So the buy was, we took out external liquidity right there. And then daily time frame gave us a breakout. All right, daily time frame confirmed the fact that, oh, we should sell to an extent. All right, so I saw that buy and I felt, oh, this buy, and the primary purpose of that buy I tried to get done was to buy into this breakout level. So this is one of the things we tend to do, some mistakes we tend to make whenever we want to sell. We tend to look for, buying opportunities to buy into that level we want to sell from, and like right? So I tried to. So the purpose of that buy was for me to buy it into this level, but then price had other plans. All right, price had other plans. So previous daily low was taken. I mean, we tapped into this imbalance right here. We took out this previous daily low right here as well. So going into the H4 time frame, what did I see? I saw this H4 break of structure to the upside. So I found this guy, this H4 break of structure to the upside. So I found this. So I mean, and this was, what time was this? 7 a.m. Nigerian time, 7 a.m. WAT. Right. So I found this H4 break of structure to the upside, and oh, this feels good because even on the H4 time frame again, it kind of looks good. All right. And one thing about price is price would always, show you what you want to see. And after showing you what you want to see, it would give you several reasons to back up why you are seeing what you are seeing, and why you should follow through with what you are seeing. That is just one thing. Um, about this market. It's gonna show you what you want to see. Right. So right here, I came from the daily time frame. I showed us the previous daily low we have taken out. This is Friday low, so and this is Monday, so we took out previous daily low, and then H4 time frame gave us this break of structure to the upside. All right. So from here, even from this H4, it does make sense again because this is a V level that sponsored some bit of buys, and that sponsored some bit of buys right here, and then it has internal liquidity below it. I mean above it rather. It has internal liquidity above it, so boom. So what happened, right? I just know I think I went into H2 time frame now to have a more conservative entry. Let's see what we have on H2 time frame. So yes, I this was my entry on the H2 time frame. I had this as my entry on the H2 time frame. This was my entry on the H2 time frame. All right, so I just expected price to come back into my level and just run off. Oh my God. Pardon me, please. What's happening now? So yeah, so that was my entry, and then I expected price to. I think this was about how many pips? Actually, about, let me see. I used 15 pips stop loss. I used 15 pips stop loss, and then I wanted to target the level I shared with us from the daily time frame. And I think this was the level on the H4 time frame on this H2 time frame. So let's pre-price. Let's play price and see what happens from here. Boom, boom, boom. Stop loss it. All right. So, so I mean, that moment was just so crazy. So Um, let's see what I could have done better. What I didn't pay attention to after the loss. Like I said, there are lot. I mean, losses are like high drops. So after the loss, your eye becomes clear, and you tend to see what you didn't see earlier. So let's go into the nothing per se on the daily time frame, right? Nothing per se on the daily time frame. So let's check the H4 time frame now. So what do we have on the H4 time frame? So on the H4 time frame, we do have so on the H4 time frame, what we have is just this guy. All right, just this one. But then we have something quite interesting on the H2 time frame from this day. Let's see what we have on the H2 time frame now. All right, so yeah, so we have this on the H2 time frame, which is this guy. I can see that I have this A level that got validated twice. You see, as much as this looks like, oh, it is kind of far, all right, it is still the same thing as situations like this. Still the same thing as this, where you would have your this thing, and it is still the same thing as this. The only difference is just that this one seems far, all right, but then it is still the same importance with attached to this should also be attached to this, all right. So I mean, whereby now that you can tell that we have this structure right now, that you can possibly expect price to come into this level, and then you sell off from here. So what we have right is still the same thing as what we have right here. All right. So paying attention to this right now, we can tell that price took out the Asian high right there. Price took out the Asian high, then it's triggered into this level right there. All right. So if I had, paid attention to this, I probably wouldn't have gotten in on that buy. All right. Because, like I mentioned, the buy was I know it is a retracement buy, but I just thought like, oh, let me just buy it into where I feel like price would buy into and then sell from. All right. Remember, I mean, just pay attention to tell you what I just said. So I said I know it is a retracement buy, but then I wanted to, buy into where I feel like price would sell from. All right. So this justifies the fact that we traders we need to understand the fact that price has a mind of its own, the market has a mind of its own anytime, any day. All right. So it is just your technical knowledge that gives you heads up. It is our technical knowledge that gives us heads up every time. Right. So price has a mind of its own. So the fact that, you know, we have a level, like I said, I know I'm bearish already on GBPUSD from all of these moments now. I know I'm bearish. All right. So the fact that we know that price has, possibly say we have this on a daily time frame now. All right. So the fact that this has happened, that does not mean price necessarily needs to come back here. And the fact that, you feel like price should come back there, that does not mean we necessarily need to sell, to buy into this level because, pullbacks are kind of uncertain. Pullback retracements, they are very uncertain. So anything can happen. So they are not the kind of trades you want to bank on 100% the way you bank on, trading in alignment with the trend at the end of the day. All right, so this happened. Let's see if there was even a confirmation entry on lower time frame from that guy. So let us see. Okay, so the only confirmation entry I can find right there is that's where price took out the previous high while the low was still standing. So this is the confirmation entry I can see right there. Price took out this high. So the entry becomes this level right there. Um, I've treated this kind of confirmation entry videos though, so you might wanna if you do not understand, you should possibly check out some of the videos I posted, the trade breakdowns I posted. So this right here was the entry, and you can see our price sold off into that guy. So which means if I had not, if I was not interested in buying, that is, if I was not hell bent on buying this retracement right here, this would have been the pretty sale I would have gotten. And then we can see this is about 12 hour thereabouts. So yeah. So let me see. So let's see what else. So this is GBPUSD now, and this is the current condition of GB. All right, so this is the current condition of GBPUSD. All right, current condition of GBPUSD. So now currently G has taken out previous daily low, and let me show something from the weekly time frame. So on the weekly time frame, we can tell that weekly time frame is actually bullish. All right, based on the fact that we have a most recent break to the upside, and then currently price is reacting from this level. All right, you can see this has been tested severally. All right, so price is currently rejecting from that guy, and then previous daily low has also been taken out on GBP USD. So previous daily low has also been taken out on GBP USD, which H4 has confirmed for us. Which H4 has confirmed for us. So possibly we can expect some sort of buys into this guy right there. Into this one right here. Previous daily has been taken out. I have seen the confirmation I need to see on the H4 time frame. That is the H4 break of structure to the upside, or a breakout to the upside. So right here, so yeah, so definitely I'm expecting GBPUSD to at least run into this level. All right, I'm expecting to run into this level. So let me see if there is another there is another setup somewhere I kind of fumbled. USD CHF. So most of these sales basically, most of these losses they basically came from me trading against the trend. I know, right? But then, sometimes you just feel like, oh, you expect price to do this. You expect price to obey you at the end of the day. Whereas I took one yesterday, it should be this. All right, so let me take it back now. So it should be, yes, should be this one. Logically, yeah, I know I'm not, I know I'm not bullish on this guy like that. Because from the major time frames, that is from the weekly. All right, so we can see weekly is rejecting from this level, and overall, I know this guy looks bearish. All right, but at the end of the day, one thing I do believe is the fact that in a bullish environment, we would have sales. In a bearish environment as well, we would have buys. All right, so you need to understand the fact that the buys you are finding in that bearish environment, they are retracements, and then the sales you are finding in the bullish environment are retracements as well. All right. So that is just it. So on this guy, on H4 time frame yesterday, so what did I see? All right. So why I feel like one of the reasons why I just wanted to buy this guy yesterday was because of this daily break to the upside that I found this guy. Right. So this was why I just wanted to buy. But then I disregarded the fact that this guy was also reacting from this key level right here, from this bearish open close level, all right. So on the H4 time frame now, what did I see? On the H4 time frame, so I found now I can see that H4 looks bullish right there. All right, H4 broke structure to the upside. So at least I was trying to sell into, I was trying to buy into this level right there. So very bad habit. Now you can see. Right, so I kind of refined this entry now into H1 time frame. And what do I have on the H1 time frame? Um, what do we have on the H1 time frame? So on the H1 time frame, we have this level. All right, so this guy swept liquidity. This guy right here swept liquidity, and we can see it also broke structure. All right, swept liquidity, and it also broke structure right here. So my entry was just by my entry was there. Here's this HF. My entry here. No, I entered from M30. That was in my entry. Oh yeah, so yeah, on M30, this was my entry yesterday. This guy was my entry. Yes. So this level that got tested and price came back there several times. So this was my entry yesterday. Um and then I had my stop loss around this guy. And I feel like my target was even way wider than this, was more than this. But then for the sake of this, let's just agree to the fact that this was my entry. My target. So let's see what happened from there. So price moved from my entry, right, and from immediately price, reversed. Price reversed. So let's see, boom. So stop loss hit. So you can see most of these losses they came from just trading against the trend, and yeah, basically came from trading against the trend, all right. So you need to understand the fact that this is one of the hazards that happens when you tend to trade against the trend, or when you know that, you expect price to get into to sell from a certain level. So let's say, oh, so this is in the appropriation. So let me say we have something like this now. Price, we have something like this level, and then price validated. So now, logically now you expect price to buy into this level. All right. You expect price to buy into this V level that got validated. only for price to just give you something around there. Price, and then you, on the other hand, you started buying from, let's say you started buying from this now, from this guy right now. So you started buying from only for price to violate you at the end of the day. So sometimes, pullbacks, retracements, setups are kind of, so a lot of times they are uncertain, right? So we need to understand this as a fact. Let us see. I should also have something on Euro USD. Let me check my H4 time frame. Do I have any trade here per se? Because I haven't traded EU like that this week. Um, okay, yeah, I think I have a trade that's it's my break even yesterday. Okay, so this is, let me take it back now. So this is Euro USD, and then what happened yesterday? I found this guy, this A level that broke structure to the downside. All right, so I found this guy and I just entered directly from there. I'm disregarding the fact that, price can possibly just, this is a break of structure and this is the first pullback after this break of structure, which means price has every reason to just take this guy out and then react from either this or this. But then there is something clean on the H3 time frame. So right there we have so I entered my trade from this guy. I entered my trade from this guy. And it even gave confirmation as well. So let us see. And stop loss was just slightly above this one, right? My target was previous daily low. All right, my target was previous daily low. I'll show us everything after this annotation. So let's play price. Let's see what happened afterwards. So price triggered, and then yes, boom. Price. You can see my target was even my initial target was even this one for this particular guy. For this particular one, I took this low was my target. This low right here was my target. This one, and you can see price, triggered, and at the end of the day, it went otherwise. All right. So let's see what I disregarded. So intentionally, I disregarded the fact that this is a liquidity point. All right, this is a liquidity point of which, price logically has every reason to take out. So there is a structure on H3 that looks quite interesting. So H3 further even stresses on that guy being a liquidity point that is now. So this is the internal liquidity right now. When we treated structure and liquidity, we said, the first break presents for your internal liquidity. That is the first work after your break of structure. All right, present for your internal liquidity, and then what is the closest key level now to this liquidity? Remember, I said, okay, it's just us paying attention to liquidity resting close to key level and then subject into structure. All right, so now this becomes the level that guy sold from. All right, so you can see this was a very beautiful entry. And why was I keen on looking for selling opportunities yesterday? The reason previous was because previous daily has been taken, and it was not only taken, we also triggered, we also ran into this open close that got violated, and then we rebalance this holding balance right and at this specific pricing level. All right, so previous daily high taken, from what we know now from liquidity, it means this guy should be the next target. All right, previous daily high taken, it wasn't only taking price also, ran from this bearish open close, I mean bullish, from this violated bullish open close key level. All right, so from there, it makes sense as to why, price sold and then price ran into its targets. All right, and even from, there's a confirmation I shared during the trades breakdown I shared. Previous daily high taking, the low still standing. This guy creates for you a new A-shaped level right there. So which means you have every reason to actually pay attention to selling from this guy. All right, so now we have a previous daily high taking, price run from an open close that overlaps inside of this imbalance right there. The low still standing. So you just need to walk along with with bearish structures on our lower time frame. All right, so on the lower time frame, so now what do we have on the H3 time frame? We can see now that H3 time frame did present something that aligns with that structure for us. We have this internal liquidity right here, and then we have this key level that is resting just above the internal liquidity, and then to target your previous daily low, remember. So entry would just be somewhere around there. All right, so entry would just be somewhere around there to target that previous daily low, which was this guy. This was the previous daily low. This one. All right, so you can see this was about 6 hours exactly. So you can see how this makes sense right now. So this, I mean, most of these losses just came from me disregarding, I mean, should I say disrespecting what I know should happen, all right? So yeah, most of these losses here, they came from me trading against the trend and then me just wanting price to do what I wanted to do. And then me, me disregarding where I know should get violated. For instance, I know this guy should get violated. I just wanted to, play with what we have on that page for that is the guy that broke structure. All right, and at the end of the day, price broke me instead of breaking structure. So yeah, so that is that as regard all of all of this. All right, so that is that as regard all of this. So I mean, like I said, losses are like eye drops. After the losses, your eyes, I mean, gets clearer and you tend to see the things you didn't pay attention to, and you tend to understand some things better at the end of the day. Um, basically what you know drives your actions and what you shapes and what you sorry basically what you know drives your actions and what you know shapes what you see. So it is based on your technical knowledge. That is why you know that, oh, price should sell from here, and that's why you know that price should buy from here. And at the end of the day, that is why you after every loss, that's why you know, oh, this is what you should have done better. All right. Um, this should be all for now. I mean, this is something unusual, so I just had to create this video, and I hope you learn a thing or two from this. All right. So if you, based on everything I've shared, right, if you watched and gain value in this video, do not hesitate to like, subscribe, and share the link with your friends. And most importantly, if you have any questions, do drop it in the chat box. And if you know you do not have any questions, you can just drop some W's in the chat. All right, you can drop some W's in the chat. All right, so do not forget, kindly like, subscribe, and share the link with your loved ones. Um, so yeah, my name is Schofield, and I'll see you in the next one.